Hello everyone, welcome back to IdArmed Reviews. I'm IdArmed. Hope you're all doing well, and today's kind of different for two reasons. Well, mostly one reason, but I'll explain that later. Today we do have a very special review because this is a figure that as of today on February 2nd, 2021, Hasbro just announced like an hour ago. But this is a figure I had for a while thanks to an error. I'm very proud to announce that I think I'm the first person on YouTube to be reviewing Transformers Generation Selects GS23 Autobot Deep Cover. I got this because if some of you remember, a store in Las Vegas called Rogue Toys just randomly got them in early. I was able to snag them during the brief window. They had to buy them before they took the page down, and to prove it, here is the card I got from them in my package, and here's the box. I usually don't show the box in my reviews, but this one's a little bit special. Let me put deep cover off to the side because it's the new kind of packaging style, as in you open it, and now how it works is the figure is attached in robot mode to a cardboard backing instead of what we had before where it was plastic. This is due to Hasbro's new deal with wanting to be more environmentally friendly, and I actually did never pull this out until now, but we open it under and this off to the side. Deep coverage instructions. I never really glanced at the Gen Select instructions, to be honest, but it looks to be more of the same. And nothing too special looks like. Just no like cross sells or anything mentioning other GS figures. What you see is what you get. But back to today's main subject, Generation Select's Deep Cover is a repaint of the Sideswipe mold, which we've seen so many times these past 2 years, but this is really cool because this is an homage to the Diaclone, to one of the Diaclone decos of the old Lamborghini Countach mold. And Deep Cover's other main appearance was as a eHobby exclusive back in 2003. This is his first appearance in a North American toy line, which is fantastic. So let's get into it. Deep Cover is molded in blue, black, and white plastics. Oh yeah, and clear. And as you can see, starting at least from the top, it's pretty much all black plastic with the blue on the side. I don't have G2 Sideswipe, but apparently like they share a lot of the where all the plastics go. So my favorite thing about this deco, to be quite honest, is these symbols pulled straight from the Diaclone release, these like cop symbols. And I believe he is supposed to be an undercover cop car, which is why he doesn't have a siren or anything. That would be his brother Clampdown, but we don't know if he's getting a Generations toy yet. They look really nice, honestly. I think they'd be a little bit cheesy, but not. They're great. My favorite part, though, is the one right up at the front. This is a very clever way to have something resembling the Lamborghini logo on a non-licensed toy. Well, this isn't really supposed to be a Countach in the first place, but, you know, resemblance. Back to the figure though, everything, if you've messed with Sideswipe or Red Alert before, I'll show them in comparisons in just a second. You know what you're getting into, but new details such as the more colored front lights as well as the rear headlights help him pop a lot more. And just like the black is something I've never experienced with, because like I mentioned, I never had a G2 Sideswipe, but overall, like, I really love the Sideswipe mold to begin with, but this is a great redeco. And as for accessories, if you've messed with Sideswipe, Red Alert, etc., you know what you're getting into. He comes with the exact same weapons that Tiger Track came with last year, being the two guns from Sideswipe. The missile part is molded in black plastic painted white. The gun is painted with some silver on the front, but also molded in black plastic. And then also molded in black plastic but painted in silver is the gun included with Red Alert. And it looks really nice, and I'm happy they did not paint the bottom bit. So, you know, as you expect, you can just pop all the weapons on there. I don't think there's any set configuration. There's never has been a set one, but like, you know, you can do stuff like this, for example. It's fun. And of course, you know, you have the holes, the hole, and the pegs to place blast effects, which, you know, they're kind of dead for the moment, but maybe they'll come back in Netflix with the Netflix Voyagers, like they've been doing for a while. But you know, if you have Sideswipe or Red Alert, it's just kind of what you expect in terms of playability. And speaking of Sideswipe and Red Alert, to compare it, well, you see Sideswipe from 2018 and Siege Red Alert from 2019, and they all look fantastic together. But this might be recency bias, but Deep Cover is 100% my favorite. I'd say Sideswipe's a close second because of all the matte finish and stuff, and then Red Alert's, he's not bad, but he's not perfect. Also, I just realized the siren's on his axe, so sorry about that, but, you know, just kind of put him all to the side. He doesn't have, like, a lot of paint, but just, like, having one big predominant color really looks nice, like Sideswipe. And then, like I mentioned before, him having the tail lights is really fantastic because they just got the silver headlights while he got the full, more earthy kind of highlights. So not too bad. So anyways, you know, before we transform him, I want to say, yeah, what a fantastic car mode. Honestly, making me want to pick up the other Sideswipe redecos more, but let's go ahead and transform him. Alright, after that very classic transformation at this point, considering Sideswipe's going to be hitting, you know, like 2.5 years very soon of being out in stores, Deep Cover has a really fantastic robot mode. I don't even really know where to start, but, like, you know, let's just take a look at his deco. Way more blue shows off in this mode, both, like, what seems to be painted and unpainted blue. So, you know, like, majority of it's going to be blue, but then, like, the crotch appears to be painted. And that does appear to be it for the painted blue on him. But it, like, I didn't think I'd like it based on the pictures. Like, just this much blue, but, like, in hand. Like, I want to call it, like, a royal shade of blue. You don't really see it on a lot of Transformers, surprisingly. The closest I want to say is something like Mirage or maybe Punch Counter Punch. But I can't explain it yet, but, like, you know, it looks really fantastic. And particular details, I really love how, you know, the hood emblem's still here, and they're also on the back still. They don't, they were on the doors of the original, so, like, on the original they'd be on the sides, but since this version of Sideswipe doesn't incorporate, like, the shoulder doors, they're not there. No big deal. I really like all the painted details. These come straight from the eHobby release, and of course the Diaclone toys, so really sells this as being, you know, a very heavily updated version. And of course, going into that head sculpt, it is just Sideswipes, but I never thought we'd get it in a blue color like that. And with, I want to say my only complaint about the robot mode is that the eyes do look kind of dull, because they are kind of like, what's the right word? They're just not very nice to look at, or like they're hard to see, but otherwise, man, this bot mode, oh god, it's fantastic. You know, features, of course, you have the weapons, and of course he has the, what, let's see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blast effect ports. Wait. Yeah, 11 blast effect ports, plus, you know, of course you can build weapons with the gun and big gun. So that's all in terms of playability, but of course posability is great if you've ever messed with the mold. So you get a ball jointed head, you can look up this far, down that far, can get the nice head tilt. Shoulders are 360, go out this far, then you get the bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, waist swivel, hips that go out this, forward this far, back this far, do the full splits, a thigh swivel, a 90-degree bend at the knee, or a little under 90-degree bend at the knee, and then you get the ankle tilt, as well as a little bit up and down. So, you know, you can get him into really great poses. He's not as good as, like, I want to say he's not as good as, like, the Datsuns or Hound, but it still works pretty well. And, of course, last play feature is that he does have the 5mm. Whoops, he does have the figure stand for your Japanese figure stands of choice. I prefer the Bandai Tamashii Nations Act 4 Humanoid, but, of course, lots of them will work. Before we get into size comparison, here is deep cover with the other Countach figures I own, being Sideswipe and Red Alert. I do have Sunstreaker, but you know, he's a whole nother mold. And in robot mode, my sentiment's kind of the same. He is the best version of the Countach that I own personally. If I get, well, not if, it's when I get Deep or Tiger Track. Yeah, that might be a contest, but he kind of blows Sideswipe and Red Alert out of the water, but they all look great together, and I kind of love how this mold has become the Autobot troop builder in a way. So let's move on to size comparisons. Alright, for some quick size comparisons, here's Generation Select's Deluxe Deep Cover with Earthrise Optimus Prime holding Armada Overrun. That was a recent purchase. My most recent acquired figure, Takara Legends Twin Twist. So a good look at how he scales with a Prime Wars Trilogy Deluxe. And because they all originated from the same line, one of the Diaclone Power Suits, Triverse Triambler, and big one, Buffalo Mark IV Striker. Battle Buffalo Mark IV Striker. And yeah, this is great. I know they're, you know, technically two different toy lines, but this is really getting me, like, giving me that craving to finally go pick up Tiger Track, Corden, and Spin Out. So yeah, great size comparisons. So that was my look at the new Generation Selects Autobot Deep Cover. Do I recommend him? If you already have enough of the Countach's, that's like a decision up to you. But if this is either your first one, or you're a fan of Diaclone, or you just love the mold, absolutely. In the week or so I've had this figure, I have become smitten with him. He's one of the ones I've been just pulling off the shelf for some reason, even though I already had them twice beforehand. Like I said, this is really making me consider picking up Corden, Spin Out, and Tiger Track ASAP, and then any Diaclone deco after, you know, I'm grabbing, if like they're going to be as good as Deep Cover. Like I mentioned, just got announced today, or as of the day of this recording, so in the description I will link you to Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and whatever other sites I can see have Deep Cover for pre-order, because I would totally recommend them. And one more thing before I go, this is a different kind of review, and I want to save it for the end of the video. I'll be doing a much more smaller edited series of videos called Collectible Closeups that I can do while I'm in school, because I still love reviewing, honestly. But, you know, I don't have the time to always do the big IdArmed reviews. Those will still come. Black Arachnia is still on the way, all that. But this is something I can hopefully do like once or twice a week, just so I can keep reviewing the figures I have in my scarily growing collection. But anyways, Deep Cover is great. Thank you, Rogue Toys, for making that miracle happen and having me get it super early. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Later.